In most organizations, hard workers plateau once the hierarchy stops changing. This outcome is not caused by a decline in effort. It does not result from lost motivation or reduced ability. It follows from how static hierarchies process contribution once upward movement ends. A hierarchy is a fixed ranking of roles. Each level holds a limited number of positions. Movement through the hierarchy depends on vacancies above, not intensity below. When higher levels stop opening, the hierarchy becomes static. The ranking remains, but motion disappears. Early in a hierarchy's life, movement is common. Teams expand, new layers appear, responsibilities redistribute. People move upward because space exists. During this phase, effort appears directly connected to advancement. Those who work harder rise faster. The system reinforces this pattern. Over time, the hierarchy stabilizes. Growth slows. Leadership roles fill. Upper positions become occupied by people with little incentive to leave. The structure solidifies. At this point, the hierarchy still evaluates work, but it no longer converts effort into movement. Hard workers continue to produce. They take on more tasks. They become reliable. They solve problems others avoid. Their value inside the current role increases. Their position does not. The system begins treating effort as capacity rather than potential. The hard worker becomes someone the organization depends on, not someone it moves. This is the beginning of the plateau. Plateauing does not feel sudden. It unfolds gradually. Recognition continues. Praise continues. Responsibility increases. What stops is rank change. The absence of movement is subtle because everything else remains active. The hierarchy does not signal closure. It simply stops responding. In static hierarchies, effort accumulates vertically only until the next level is full. Once that level is occupied, additional effort spreads horizontally. It improves output. It does not alter position. This creates a mismatch between input and return. Hard workers often respond by increasing effort further. They assume the system has not yet noticed. They assume consistency will be rewarded. These assumptions are logical based on earlier experience. The structure has changed without acknowledgement. The hierarchy now operates under a different rule. Stability is prioritized over redistribution. The system values predictability more than movement. Hard workers become stabilizers. They absorb pressure. They maintain continuity. They reduce risk. These functions are valuable in static systems. They do not require promotion to perform. The system assigns more work to those who can handle it. This increases load without increasing rank. Over time, hard workers become deeply embedded in their roles. This embeddedness reduces mobility further. Replacing a hard worker becomes costly. Promoting them creates a gap that is difficult to fill. The system delays this disruption as long as possible. Effort, which once signaled readiness for advancement, now signals indispensability at the current level. This inversion is structural, not intentional. Managers do not consciously block advancement. They respond to constraints. If promoting a high-performing worker creates instability, the system resists that move. As a result, plateauing correlates strongly with competence. Less essential workers can move more easily. They create less disruption when displaced. Hard workers create friction when removed from their roles. The system optimizes for minimal friction. This explains why advancement sometimes appears disconnected from contribution. The hierarchy is not rewarding effort. It is preserving balance. Static hierarchies treat roles as anchors. Once someone anchors a role effectively, the system locks them in place. At this stage, effort no longer communicates ambition. It communicates reliability. The hierarchy responds accordingly. Hard workers often misinterpret this response. They believe they need to demonstrate leadership qualities, initiative, or visibility. These behaviors may increase attention. They do not create vacancies. Without movement above, signaling changes nothing. The plateau persists because the hierarchy has reached capacity. All higher positions are occupied. No amount of internal performance can create new levels. Promotions in static hierarchies occur only through disruption. Someone leaves, someone retires, someone is removed. These events are not caused by effort below, they are external to it. When disruption occurs, the hierarchy briefly becomes dynamic again. Movement resumes. Hard workers may advance at this moment. It appears that persistence paid off. This interpretation confuses correlation with cause. The advancement did not happen because of sustained effort. It happened because space appeared. This reinforces continued effort despite diminishing returns. The hierarchy benefits from this misunderstanding. Hard workers maintain output while waiting for rare openings. The system remains stable. Over time, plateauing produces secondary effects. Motivation declines, frustration increases, engagement fluctuates. These changes are often framed as attitude problems. They are structural responses. Static hierarchies generate effort saturation. Beyond a certain point, additional input cannot produce additional rank change. The system absorbs effort without providing upward feedback. This saturation is invisible from inside the role. Performance metrics still move. Outcomes still matter. The missing signal is vertical change. Hard workers sense stagnation but cannot locate its source. The hierarchy does not expose its limits explicitly. Instead, it offers substitutes. Lateral projects appear, titles adjust slightly, scope expands. These changes create motion without altering rank. They delay exit by offering variation. For some, this is sufficient. For others, the absence of progression becomes decisive. Eventually, hard workers face a structural realization. Continued effort will not alter position. The plateau is not temporary. It is permanent unless the hierarchy changes. This realization often coincides with departure. When hard workers leave, the hierarchy experiences loss. Output drops. Pressure redistributes. The system scrambles to replace capacity. This replacement rarely restores the same performance level. It requires multiple hires or restructuring. Ironically, the departure creates the vacancy that advancement requires. Someone else moves up. The hierarchy renews itself through attrition. From the outside, this cycle is predictable. From inside, it feels personal. Static hierarchies cannot advance everyone. They select for stability over growth. Hard workers plateau not because they stop progressing, but because the structure stops moving. In hierarchies where movement continues, hard work translates into advancement. In hierarchies where movement stops, hard work translates into load. When structure changes, effort appears to work. In systems like this, position availability governs outcomes, not contribution level. Within this structure, no amount of sustained effort can produce upward movement without disruption. In other systems, incentives determine progression.